You're listening to iCannabisRadio.com.
Good afternoon, all my little merry hempsters out there. Today on our show, it is thcmag.com. This is our radio show, the Hemp Connoisseur. It will just be the lovely Sam Isaacs and myself.
Hello.
This is going to be the Sam Nanigans Power Hour. Because unfortunately, David has been really busy. He's been doing a lot of work gearing up for THC Magazine's Connoisseur Tournament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where people get to test all the wonderful, wonderful cannabis product out there.
I hope it's all wonderful.
Of course it's all wonderful. It's Colorado grown, sir.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
From other entries as well, but it'll be great. And I guess he wanted me to put an announcement out there that we are still searching for some hybrid judges, which doesn't make any sense to me because I think hybrids...
It's all hybrid.
Well,
that's not true.
That's not true, but I think hybrids are the best.
Oh, like hybrid, not dominant in the indica or sativa categories.
Sure.
I get
what
it.
you said.
How do you? That's probably a hard thing to judge because if you're doing sativa, you go, which one's more cerebral, and indica, which one is more relaxing. Well,
yeah.
What's a hybrid? How do you? Which one's the best of both worlds? Yeah.
Which one probably makes you feel the best without giving you all the terrible side effects, paranoia maybe?
Yeah, I guess more taste as well.
Yeah.
Cause that
smell, look.
The look of it, the structure of the bud.
Which one works best with a Led Zeppelin album? Which one works best with Pink Floyd?
Pink Floyd album, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's hard to judge.
What are we going to talk about today, Sam? Have you even been keeping up with the news this week?
Well, the big news, I guess, is that AA. Is it Proposition AA?
Yeah. Do you want to debate AA?
Let's debate it. I have
you want to
question.
debate it? Hold on. First of all, let's talk about several other things that's been going on today. So we've got there was a bunch of investors here from the ArcView Angel Investor Group.
Oh.
Yes, looking to invest their dollars in the cannabis industry.
There's a lot of those.
So that's been a lot of fun. Yeah. And what else? There's been... Here, scoot closer. Let's get in here.
Okay.
This is just us. Here we go. Wave at the camera. Hi, camera. Sam's. Okay. People love this. They're going to eat this up. This is going to be the highest rated show ever.
This one will be.
All right. You want to talk about Proposition AA?
Yeah, because I've heard, there's a lot of no, and the people that are saying no on it got pretty good press from giving away free joints.
Well, yeah, when you give away free joints, why not? But where's the substance of your substance of your campaign? I mean, I can give away free marijuana all day long. Well, I couldn't personally, but in theory,
you could.
I could also give away free beer and have a lot of people show up. Doesn't make my message any.
Yeah, I know, right? That doesn't. You're right. That's just for publicity.
I need to raise this thing up.
You're absolutely right. Because I think you'd said at one point, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that the taxes are going to be gotten by the people who want them anyway. It's just if this doesn't pass, then the people that own the dispensaries are going to have to pay more for their licensing. Is that true?
Well, so the taxes are going to go to two things. One, in Amendment 64, there was a 15% excise tax sort of promised, but it couldn't have been acted upon because, there's a few, constitutional loopholes that sort of prevented the tax question from being included in that. One is that we have a single subject rule for referendums and initiatives in Colorado. So they couldn't technically have it do both, enact a tax and create Amendment 64. And then two, the other thing is, so that was included. And then if you're going to raise a tax, you have to, because of Tabor, you have to enact it a certain way. Shall taxes be raised this amount? So, so that one, Proposition A fulfills the promise of Amendment 64. It's sort of like the last leg in the long marathon. To get this 15% excise tax, which the first $40 million annually will go to the BEST program. And the BEST program is a school construction program, so it builds schools. But it doesn't just build schools. It provides new technology that counts.
Updates
school materials, yeah, because computers, learning aids, things like that are considered in school construction. That falls underneath the school
okay.
construction. Yeah.
I
So,
didn't
you know,
know
and
that.
that will build jobs because it will create, you know, there's all these contractors have to come in and build these schools. And I mean, I have an 8-year-old son personally, and Lord knows his school needs a little bit of help. But we also live in the Po area.
What's that mean?
Po high, you know.
I don't know what that
not
is.
like not quite low high, not quite the highlands. It's like the poor highlands. I call it Po high. No, we can't. We're so poor we can't afford the OR, the extra OR. Why are you looking at me like that, Christian? Just looking, he says. So that's part of it, and the other part is this is a new industry. It's still, you know, I think marijuana is still existing under 75 years of prohibition. Whereas, you know, it hasn't had quite the exposure that alcohol is. You know, people, that's one of the things everyone says regulate it like alcohol, but I don't think people quite understand that alcohol was only under prohibition for like a decade, you know, like it wasn't like really long. So it's not exactly as if it left our social culture.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of propaganda for alcohol, you know, but I see a whole bunch. I mean, we have a whole movie, Reefer Madness, that we quote.
Well, yeah, it's fun, but exactly. And so you have a lot of people that for decades and decades and decades, like almost a century, we're almost going on a century now of cannabis not being a part of our culture, or at least be existing under prohibition. And so it's really foreign to a lot of people. Our community gets it, you know, educated people get it. But I think we all understand that the number one tool for when it comes to dismantling a prohibition mentality is education and exposure. You know, and so until we get to that point, you know, there's still a lot of I think apprehension to this industry, and so you know we need to have proper enforcement. So we need to have education programs. We need to have, you know, bump up a little bit of like the enforcement and make sure that there's no diversion, because it's not like this is legal in Kansas and Nebraska and other states, you know. So we need to be very, very careful. And so, you know, it's felt that 10% sales tax that's been added on in Proposition AA will help create those programs and create robust enforcement and pretty much solidify the fact that this is a serious industry, it's a serious movement, and we're going to make sure that everything's funded appropriately in order for everyone in the entire state of Colorado to feel comfortable with the industry, and then we'll be able to move forward. Now, that's the pro argument, of course, and I'm sure there's a very good anti-argument out there. Do you want to take the mantle on that,
Well,
Mr.
I'm
Isaacs?
not an anti. I'm not, you know.
You're just neutral?
Yeah, because I don't know, because I've heard both. Because the anti would say that, you know, it's you're overtaxing us, and you're doing the most that was talked about. You know, and you're not doing a middle, you're not doing the least. We talked about, I guess, whatever, 15%, and you chose to do the entire 15%.
Well, they even talked about 25% during the task force,
yeah,
so
I
it
think
was
I heard
actually a
that.
lot higher.
Yeah, and you know, I guess it was, you know, we don't want to tax people back to the black market, which makes a lot of sense. But I read this one thing, it was like Colorado polls, I think, and then I even read something.
Oh, you're talking about how they called out the industry for being hypocrites,
Right, but I also read something where they miscued a lot of that, so it's kind of like I really don't know anything.
So the anti campaign is headed up by Rob Corey, Larissa Bolivar, Miguel Lopez. So a lot of like really strong proponent or strong leaders in the activist community, and you know they're traditional fighters. So this is right in their wheelhouse. They believe that it's overtaxation, that you know you're putting a lot of this burden on the back of consumers.
Well, you know what? Maybe you should just get your red card.
You
Then
could
you can get
your
another
red
round,
card.
and you're not paying the taxes.
You know, I feel a lot of exactly, but
That's what I'm doing.
You could, and then it becomes just a luxury tax, and it
Yeah.
is a luxury tax at the end of the day. Because
Yeah.
in Colorado, we have the luxury to be able to walk into a dispensary at the age of 21 and purchase a product. That you can't do this in California. You can't do it in Oregon. You can't do it in Montana. You can't do it in Nevada. You can't do it in New Mexico,
No
Arizona,
Pennsylvania.
no Pennsylvania, no Florida, no New York, no Maine, no
Delaware.
Connecticut, no Delaware, no New Hampshire, no New Jersey, no West Virginia, no regular Virginia, North Dakota, South Dakota, Missouri, Minnesota, Illinois, Indiana,
How do you know all of them?
Wisconsin, Michigan, every other state, Alaska, Michigan,
Hawaii.
Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas. Georgia.
Oh my God.
I mean, look at all 48 other states. You cannot do this.
Yeah.
There's only one other state that you can. That's Washington. And their tax is 75%.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have a 3-tiered tax system, so it's 25, 25, 25. So actually there's again because the wholesale tax actually gets eaten up a lot.
Oh, you know what? I get it. Because, I mean, as a tourist, the thing we were talking about, you're going to pay more anyway. You're a tourist. You're always going to pay more for everything.
Yeah.
And you should be lucky
You're not going
enough
to take the time to shop around. You're not going to like call a doctor and spend 2 hours to get your red card. You're just going to go, screw it. And then I also think there's a lot of people in the gray market who aren't patients, probably purchase from friends who are patients, who just sit there and go, I don't want to have to put my friends through that anymore. And sure, you can always call someone, but if you call someone, are you really going to get the selection that you do of your store? Like I can walk into a store and I can see 40 strains.
It's great. That's what I told people in Pennsylvania. I'm like, you're going to a store. You know, there's no paranoia. It's a store. Like, I mean, go in here, you go to Lodo Wellness Center, I'll give them a plug. That's the first dispensary I ever went into, and that was like, they had Buddhas, and it was open, and music, and it's like,
you've
wow,
got edibles. I mean, like, you could probably go down the store or go down the street and buy weed from your friend because you want to, because you don't want to pay $5 more on an eighth, but which is what it would be. But I mean, but is your friend going to make some really delicious, Incredibles, monkey chunky buffalo bars?
Yeah.
No.
No peanut butter Buddha bars at your bud's house.
No peanut butter Buddha bars. No brownies, but they're probably like really shitty brownies, because your friend's making them, and you're like, wow, you suck at this.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to have this ex-boyfriend that would make like edibles, and you just like cook them at home, and I could always taste the weed in it. But I have a very sensitive palate, but it was gag-inducing. Who do we got here?
You got Georgia.
Hi, Georgia.
Yeah, come on in, Georgia.
Come on in, Georgia.
Hi.
This is me and Sam.
Get sucked in.
Well, David couldn't make it because he's so busy.
He's so busy.
So busy with the THC Magazine Connoisseur tournament.
It's going to be so exciting. I just love so as you know, they're bringing the entries to MMD of Colorado, where the judges will then get them, and it is so much fun to see all of these folks bring their prized possessions in, and they're so proud of them. And oh my gosh, this was fun last year, and I didn't even get to participate in this part. This part is so much fun.
He's looking for more judges, Georgia.
Yes, I've heard that.
Hybrid judges is what we need. Hybrid.
Okay, so folks,
go to thc.com, the Hemp Connoisseur Magazine.com, and you can sign up to be a hybrid judge. I believe the entry fee is like $125 to be a judge, but you get a lot of swag, which is awesome. We all love swag.
And you get this great brunch on Sunday morning at Castleman's.
What are you pointing at yourself
You want to
for?
be a judge?
I am.
You are a judge?
I might be a judge, too.
You would make an excellent judge.
Thank you.
Dude, David even told me he'd waive your fee.
No, he did.
Yes, he did.
Oh, that's
I'm just
cool.
kidding,
I know,
but I'm going to
you're
put him on the
kidding.
spot.
He did
Right?
say he wanted me to be a judge, though.
Yeah,
I
he
think
said
that
he'd
sounds
cover
great.
your fee, Sam.
I have to hold him up to that.
Yeah, well, it's on the record now.
Right. How exciting. How are you?
I'm good. How was the Jenny Cush thing?
Oh my gosh, thank you for asking. It was these guys were here through the whole thing. I popped in and out. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It is unfortunate that someone has to die before people tell you how much they care about you. And luckily, part of what was so great about Jenny Cush is that she was always talking about how much she cared about you and loved you, and so people would say that back. But we sat here, and Jenny's mom called in.
Oh.
And she, they were having a family dinner, and everybody was listening to the show, and she said this wonderful thing. Lori, you're so great. She said this wonderful thing. I didn't know anything about Jenny's life out there, and I kind of didn't want to, but now I wish that I knew everything, because people have these preconceived notion of what the stoner lifestyle is, or what the cannabis community looks like, or whatever, and they don't really. For those folks that aren't as intimately involved in it as we are, they have these thoughts and feelings about what that's going to look like. And Lori, I think Lori thought it might be something that was less than ideal for her daughter, but this outpouring of love and affection and kindness and all those kinds of things have just been so what I see is so overwhelming for Lori that she's like, God, this is a wonderful life that Jenny had made for herself. Now she wants to know everything. And they're coming this weekend. They're going to be at the Candlelight Vigil on Monday evening at 6 o'clock at the Capitol.
September 30th?
September 30th at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
And let me just be clear on what this Candlelight Vigil is. This is to bring attention to the horrors of drunk driving. Mm-hmm. Okay, Jenny's life revolved around a whole bunch of things, and certainly being a cannabis activist was one of them. But this vigil is really to bring attention to what put that light out, which was the acts of a drunk driver. And so really people come out and show your support so that we can remind people about how absolutely dangerous it is and horrible it is to drive under the influence.
It is. And, one of the things, like when I was lobbying on the Denver City Council, and they were talking about hours of operation for the retail marijuana shops. And, they said there, wow, we want to keep it in line with medical, which I think you close at like 7 p.m., which is banker's hours, which is ridiculous, Ridiculous. And so what you're doing is you're forcing people to still choose alcohol. And I think the crux of this entire movement has always been, we just want to offer people an alternative that's safer to everybody, to themselves and to the community at whole. Like, you don't want to necessarily say, like, well, demonize alcohol as the devil, like, because anything in moderation is okay, And I love drinking. I like a beer every once in a while.
Sure.
I like a glass of wine, but it's about offering a safer alternative for people. And it used to make me so mad. They would say that we don't want people stoned and driving. Yet people will gladly drink themselves to blackout drunk till 2 a.m. in downtown Denver, and no one seems to ever address that issue. And that's such a public safety issue. Absolutely,
and especially, I mean, if you have been watching the news about what's happening in Lodo now, and how dangerous it is to be outside at bar close, and how many fights and gunshots and I mean, it's awful. I know plenty of people, despite my age, who go and
despite your age. What are you, like 30?
Oh, I think I love you.
She doesn't look older than 30.
Sweet.
You don't look older than 30.
Thank you. But people who are leaving the bars really early because they don't want to, because it's too dangerous to be out at bar close, and I don't do this whole comparison of yes, I believe and know that cannabis is safer than alcohol. But from my perspective, I really want people to make wise personal decisions that don't involve getting in the way of my personal freedoms, which is what happened when this drunk driver hit Jenny. Jenny wouldn't say, don't drink, don't smoke pot, don't take methamphetamines. She would say, do what you want to do as a consenting adult, but don't let it get in the way of me. Mm-hmm. And that's my belief system as well, that you can be stupid. And you can do all kinds of things. But at the point in time where your choices bump up against someone else's, then there's a problem. And certainly, we can say it's safer than alcohol, and it's very true. But we need to be more thoughtful about telling people to make responsible choices in general. And that's part of, again, what this vigil is about, is you're not making responsible choices when you choose to get behind the wheel of a car after consuming really anything. And so, I mean, I know this is not a popular opinion, but I don't need to hear that driving under the influence of marijuana is safer than driving under the influence of alcohol. Mm-hmm. I think that you make a good decision, and if you decide to do something that's mind altering, don't get behind the wheel of anything ever. Don't do it.
Impaired driving is impaired driving is impaired driving at the end of the day.
That's right.
And it really is about being safer choice. It's just about having a choice.
That's right.
People need a safer alternative. I think we can all agree in our community, and to even just the uneducated person, that one of these is a little bit safer than the other. I mean, I know from personal experience, I've definitely gotten blackout drunk, never gotten blackout high.
Right.
Or if I did, I was like,
I've gotten
passed out.
I got a high and I went to sleep.
Yeah, you go to sleep. You fall asleep, but I've
Which
never
doesn't
been
make you
able
go get your car keys.
No.
Right.
I've never ever
I've never been drunk.
Been walking and talking and quasi. I put functional in quotation marks right now. Functional, high.
Right.
But drunk, sure. Could slam a few beers, and I'm not saying I ever did that in college, but and still, like, people say, oh, you were doing all this stuff. Don't remember.
And what an awful feeling that is. What an awful feeling
Scary.
that is.
It's a frightening feeling.
Yeah. I mean, and so I just think that part of what the cannabis community is struggling with right now is this fallout of what happened with Jenny and a drunk driver was a tragic irony, and therefore the easiest thing to do is to combat against alcohol. Fine, I mean fine, do that, but really that isn't what our principles are.
No,
it's not. Our principles are gosh,
safety.
We're adults. Yeah,
safety
smart.
first.
Yeah, be smart, be safe. Absolutely.
Because that's been the message the whole time. We're responsible. We're adults. Let us be able to partake in an activity of our choice in a safe manner.
Right.
It's sad, and I think it's great that the community's coming together. Every time I read an article on Jenny Kush, I well up with tears because you see how loved she was.
Yeah.
And like you just like, oh, it's because it's so tragic. Like I'm welling up right
I
now.
know. Hey, I just want to clear up. So in the Westward article, it says that I own a Jenny Kush original in my house, and I wish to God that I did, but I do not. So no one come after that because I don't own one.
Oh.
There are pieces of Jenny's art that I would love to have in my home. But
oh my God,
she
I know,
said
right?
that she was gonna draw me something, which is unfortunate. I didn't get that, but
that just killed me. That just hurt.
Well, they have they still have some prints of her artwork on T-shirts at Hood Lab. So it's 3345 Larimer Street. But and I've seen some of them, and they're off the hook. They're just so cool.
They have they have some beautiful prints too of some of her zombie-ish stuff, and then some of her. She had some just beautiful plant life.
That was my favorite.
The cherry blossom one is freaking amazing. I had never seen. I'd seen some of her wackier stuff. I consider it wacky as my 30-year-old self. But she has a lot more traditional artwork too that I had never seen before. That's pretty phenomenal. She's such a talented girl.
So talented.
Yeah. There was a picture of a vase with like purple.
The word is vase.
The vase. And there's like purple, cannabis flowers coming out, and I was like, oh, I want that one. And she said she'd make me, something like that.
I'm sure she would have.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to let you guys do your show. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, we love to have you.
Oh, thank you so much. It was big fun. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you. Thanks, Georgia. Probably time to take a break right now, Chris. Yeah, he's like, yeah, whatever. He's texting this whole time.
He's been texting.
Who are you texting?
I'm signing up for the championships.
Signing up for a championship.
Oh, you signing up for the championship? So what do you do to sign up for the championship? You go to THCmagazine.com. You go to our website, fill out find the tournament link, say you want to be a judge, click on that. And if you have the secret password, which I'll reveal at the end of the show, your judge's fee will be waived.
Call Connoisseur at 1-800-420-5757 for all your insurance needs. Connoisseur understands the risks you face each day, and we are there to protect your business and your investment. Since 2010, Connoisseur has been serving the cannabis industry nationwide. Call Connoisseur at 1-800-420-5757 or visit us on the web at connoisseur.com to learn more about our insurance and risk management services. Proud member of the NCIA.
Independent Records and Videos has been your locally owned and operated choice for music, movies, and lifestyle accessories since 1978. Independent Records and Videos has 7 locations from Denver to Colorado Springs to Pueblo to serve your entertainment needs. Whether it's vinyl, CDs, DVDs, books, smoking accessories, or hundreds of other fun and fanciful items, Independent is ready and waiting to make your dreams come true. We are always buying, selling, and trading vinyl, CDs, books, and DVDs, so sell yours and buy ours. Independent Records and Videos, your entertainment headquarters. Check us out at beindependent.com or on Facebook.
I'm Gary Johnson, and you're listening to iCannabis Radio, and I want to say, talk it up, Colorado.
Talk it up, Sam.
Talk it up, Sam.
Okay.
We're both named Sam. Isn't Sam the best name ever?
That's a good name.
It's a great name.
It's a good one.
So, Sam just said he's already decided on how he's going to vote. We won't tell you because voting is secret.
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
Gotta get good information from credible people and make your decision.
I know. I want to raise this up. There it is. That's better. I like that better. Is that better? He's like, whatever, Sam. Our producer is so tuned out right now, isn't he? We could just throw things at him and he won't even know what's going on.
He's playing video games.
Why are you playing video games, yo? You know what I think the next big fight needs to be, though?
What?
What do you think the next big fight needs to be?
Dealing with cannabis? Or
Yeah,
just
cannabis.
Cannabis.
Not just fight. Like, I mean, you and I can go, like, punch it out right now. I think it'll be all right. I'm going to kick your ass. I did punch Sam once.
Yeah.
We were playing the circle game. You know this game right here, Sam. Oh!
Please get me later.
You bitch. I'll get you
to
later.
work tomorrow.
But we were playing that game, and I punched him really hard. You had a
Yeah.
bruise.
Yeah, I did have a bruise.
He
It was
still
sore.
grabs it, and it's like, you have phantom pains now?
I think I feel it.
You feel it a little bit?
Yeah, but I've been working out.
You've been working out?
Well, I've been working, and I get to lift boxes all day, so.
You lift boxes all day?
Yeah, bags of mulch.
Oh.
Yeah. 50-gallon reservoirs sometimes and some days.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah.
I think the next big fight
Yeah, me
in
too,
the
baby.
cannabis world is got to be expunging felon records, right?
Well, yeah, I guess you're right.
Clemency,
Well,
pardons, like anything for people that.
if it's a small thing, if you're not related to a gang.
Well, yeah, or you
Yeah,
haven't been like, yeah,
absolutely.
there's no other sort of like a robbery was involved or a murder or like violence of any sort.
Right.
But I mean, if you're just selling weed or possession, like those people need to be, I think, exonerated.
Well, then, like what about like Mark Emery? Like if he was here in Colorado, would he be that free?
Who's Mark Emery?
Mark Emery is this guy.
You got to
from-
tell people about this stuff. Not
you know
everybody
who it
knows.
is. Okay, Mark Emery, cannabis activist from Canada who was indicted on charges of like selling seeds through the internet and to America because the internet is boundaryless. So people all over the world, the DEA said that they could trace at least one marijuana plant to in every state back to this one man, Mark Emery, and he took all this money and would help NORML and just these marijuana legalization groups, and so he was indicted because he was very successful at it. He even said one of his quotes is like, if you can grow so much cannabis that the DEA would be shut down because you just couldn't eradicate all the weed that was growing, and one man, he's talking about himself, could do it. And they got him, and so he's in jail. I don't know. I think it's in Mississippi, and that's selling seeds.
Yeah, I think he should be exonerated. I mean, I think so. I think that if it's a cannabis-related crime, and especially something that, especially under Colorado's constitution, so anything 2 ounces or less. Personally, I think even if it's more than that, like
Yes, it should be.
I mean,
because there should be because if I forget about the joint I have, is it a felon to be over? Is that the crime?
No.
Is it a misdemeanor then?
no.
What is it? If I have, my red card, I have 2 ounces plus the joint, which makes it like, it's an eighth rolled in that joint.
I think it's a petty offense.
It's a petty offense.
Petty
so I'm not
offense.
gonna
It's a
get
little,
in trouble.
yeah.
So I
And,
just get a ticket then or something for having more than I'm allowed
but
to.
I'm talking about like the people who are in jail now, I think, or have something on their record because we have that law that says if you've had a drug felony within the last 10 years,
10.
you can't participate. You can't be an owner, can't be an employee, things
Right,
like that.
right.
I think that is the fix, and to get people out of jail.
Yeah.
Like, all right, maybe
Yeah,
if we
me
can't
too.
clean your record, let's try to get them out of jail. I think that's where the fight needs to be had. I don't really think that the fight. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the no on taxes, ideologically, it's noble, and you're going to see this kind of thing. I actually think that this difference of opinion, it really does solidify us as an industry because you're always going to have policy disagreements. In the oil and gas industry, they have policy disagreements
Yeah,
about
right.
things. The craft brew industry, I'm sure they have policy disagreements about things. It just happens. Sometimes, like, and in both aspects, you're going to have the craft brewery is not going to exactly want what the big alcohol producers want, so they have policy disagreements. So at the end of the day, I think this is it's a minor policy disagreement, and we'll still, soldier on. But I think the fight, like, if you want to talk about a noble fight that needs to be had, that's the noble fight that needs to be had. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I think, like, the barking about the taxes is just noise for noise's sake. But if you really want to be a fighter, go out there and that's the fight. That's the one we need to be working on next legislative session. That's the one we need to be pressuring the governor on, especially if he's going to be running for re-election. Where do you stand on this issue? Are you going to let these people?
Governor? Chicken poopers. He's running. Really?
Well, he's been doing a few fundraisers. I'm sure he's the presumptive nominee for the Democrat Party for governor at this point.
Well, that stinks because he was supportive of the 5 nanograms per milliliter because he's clearly a scientist.
Yeah,
God
that's
damn
a
it.
crappy law. But again, and this is something I like to remind people of. Alcohol has been legal now for decades, 75 years, something like that. I think 1933 is when Colorado actually. Denver Post has a really good blog post today about the the last 80 years ago when Prohibition ended, and they've got all their archived newspaper headlines that they were doing during that era. Notably, none of them had really stupid fucking puns in them, like how they do here. Oh. Marijuana industry high on profits or something like that. Like, oh my God. Like, get Rocky Mountain high. Let's hash it out. Like, I hate these puns that these media people come up with. I'm like, okay, ha ha ha.
Let's just be blunt about it.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
The Joint Select Committee. But, anyways, I digress. But they have a really good, interesting blog post about, alcohol prohibition. And that was 75, 80 years ago. And today, in the legislature, there's still fights that the alcohol industry has. For example, it was only about 2 years ago that we were able to buy alcohol on a Sunday. Right? Really? Yeah. So, to sit there and think that, like...
That's crazy.
Yeah, you can definitely buy marijuana on a Sunday here. Could you imagine if they tried to put that?
That's the best
you
day
couldn't
to use
buy it
cannabis.
on a Sunday?
So, yeah, Sundays are the best days to use cannabis. Oh,
Is it?
God,
yeah, watch football?
Well, I don't care about that, but...
I care a lot. How do you... Wait, what?
I'm sorry.
You don't care about football?
Well, I like the Broncos, but,
The Broncos,
Broncos
you would
I
get
like.
kicked out of Colorado for not liking the Broncos.
I like the Broncos. If they're on, I watch. If they're not on, I really don't care. I'm from Pennsylvania. I still don't watch the Eagles. We cry. So I left there for, we just cry at every game.
What about the Steelers?
No, I don't care about
I hate the Steelers.
I
My
don't really
family
care
are huge Steeler fans. The ones that live in Utah, not the Colorado ones. Please don't lynch mob them. They're big
they
Steelers
from
fans. Because Utah doesn't have... No, it's just Utah, and they don't have a professional team. And so they glom on to the ones that do well.
I like the Broncos because I like the orange.
You like the orange? That's it?
Yeah. Well, no, that's not it, but that's a big part of it.
It's because you're a Tange fan?
Yeah. I like orange.
A little orange crush?
Yeah.
A little Tange crush?
Orange crush.
All right, we're going to take a break here, and we'll be right back with more Sam Nanigans.
Sam Nanigans.
The Law Office of Edson, Maton, and Matz provides criminal defense, family law, medical marijuana defense, and advice about setting up and running a medical marijuana center, optional premises cultivation operation, and infused product manufacturing businesses throughout the state of Colorado. We're focused on providing high-quality service and customer satisfaction. We will do everything we can to meet your expectations. WarrenEdson.com. Edson, Maton, and Matz in Denver, 303-831-8188, and in Aspen, 970-948-7183. WarrenEdson.com.
Are you a runner? Are you a runner who supports marijuana legalization? Run on Grass is a group of athletes actively seeking to change our marijuana laws. We speak the truth about cannabis, bringing the message through our feet to new ears. Check out runongrass.com to find out more about us, our events, and how to join up or how to sponsor a runner. If you're in the Denver area, please join us for runs or start a group in your area. Running not your thing? Any sport can do it. On Grass. Runongrass.com.
Green Faith Ministry is for spiritual guidance, MMJ information, and networking combined with compassionate care on the way to enlightenment with all Green Faith sacraments. Green Faith provides charity assistance, including medical and food throughout the year. Contact them at greenfaithministry.com.
And we're back.
Do you know what our producer just threatened? Our producer just threatened.
She's gonna... Oh, he muted you. Try talking. It's not gonna work.
Unmute me. Our producer just... Don't say anything. That's censorship, dude. Why you gotta be? I just want to. I will be very careful. So we have a rule. He
can I? Oh,
threatened
there
to
I am.
mute me if I talked trash about a certain hobby of his. And all I'm going to say is that I won't.
He likes to work hard
But you
while
need
he
help.
plays hard.
But you need help, Chris. You need help. Candy Crush sucks. Yeah, I got that in there, didn't I?
It's a good mind game.
It's not a mind game.
It's a puzzle.
How is it a puzzle?
Well, for me, it's always a mind
Don't you just
trickery.
move one candy from another?
It's gotta be the same candy.
I won't play it, so I actually don't know the rules, but I'm pretty sure you guys are full of shit.
Well,
I'm like
it's
100% sure you're full of shit.
It's a game that you can play when you're bored.
Oh my God. Whatever. I'm unfriending him now from Facebook for just sending me
You
that
should
invite.
double friend me.
I will. Can you double friend someone?
You should just unfriend me and friend me back.
Oh, I could do that.
Yeah, and everyone will know that we're friends.
Well,
Because
the
it
best
shows
friends.
everybody.
The
Yeah,
greatest
yeah.
friends.
You should say we're best friends now.
We are best friends.
We're best friends on Facebook.
We are.
Yeah.
That's what you need. You need a best friends level for Facebook.
Yes, best friends level.
Wow, we're rambling.
That's good. It's a good one. So I got my red card renewed.
You got your red card renewed.
Renewed.
That's smart.
Yeah, but it was
I
a little
think
bit
people
more.
should renew their red cards. I think that there's going to be a really
We're good
slow
now.
rollout in Denver.
Yeah.
Aurora's right now waiting
Do you
till
know why?
October to move on.
I heard that, once, and you'd probably be the one to correct me, but January 1st, recreational can exist, but the plants that are grown are for medical only. So January 1st, they can start to grow, and of course, it may take however long to get. So that means, January 1st, I'll still be, I'm good. I don't know. It's just something I heard.
It's an interesting thing that's still up for debate. I don't know how enforceable that is.
Yeah, I don't know how enforceable that is, right?
I mean,
if
it's seed to
supposed be from
sale,
seed to sale,
and I
yeah.
understand that, but you could always say that it doesn't mean you can't start growing. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, because someone told me that, and I said, "Well, I don't know. That's a good question."
That is a good question.
Yeah, but they were talking about it like that was the thing, and I'm like,
Yeah, I don't think so. I
Yeah,
think
I don't think it's set in
January 1st
stone.
happens, you're going to be able to walk in and buy some retail marijuana. I don't think
think
people are going to say that's medical only.
Yeah.
Because that would be unconstitutional.
Wouldn't it?
Honestly, it would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. If you're
Yeah.
listening and you said that, you're wrong. I like that,
yeah,
but
there's
it's a good thing to say because I didn't know, and I work here, so I'm like, well, I'll ask the person that works at the front lines, and I just did, and you said it'd be unconstitutional. So,
Certain front lines. I don't work all the front lines.
right, certain front lines, the one that pretty good one.
Pretty good front line.
You got good connections.
I like
to
it.
other
It's fun.
front lines, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like what I do.
It's good, but like I said, I got my red card.
I got
renewed.
called a pro-tax lobbyist by the No on AA campaign. I
Well,
was
that doesn't make any
cracking
sense.
up. No.
Yeah.
I love Rob. Rob Corey, if you're listening, I adore you. Oh, yeah.
Rob
I wish
is a-
he'd use his powers for good, not evil.
Funny. He was attacked, by MPP, and and
I don't think he was attacked by MPP.
maybe not attacked, but definitely he was talked about.
He was called out.
Yeah, he's called out.
But I think sometimes, Rob touts himself as a co-drafter. I think
And I met him, and that's what I thought
of
you know.
Amendment
And
64,
he
and
helped. I'm sure he helped.
I think that there's drafting and then there's authoring. So
okay.
I think, listen, you and I could co-author a book. We could give it over here to Christian to give us some feedback and some edits,
Yeah,
and he
no.
might change a paragraph or two or add a line. But at the end of the day, then that doesn't get added as
Okay.
our, Sam Nanigans by Sam and Chris. It's
Chris?
just still Sam and Chris. Sam and
Well,
Sam.
it'd be Sam and Sam.
Yeah. So, and I'm not going to put words in anybody's mouth or take anybody's position.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying as an impartial observer, I think that's where the controversy lies. So some people feel that there's a difference between co-drafter and co-author.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, co-drafter is probably an appropriate title, but co-author I think goes too far. And then there's never any really... The media, we all know the press gets very lazy when it comes to reporting on marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the other thing that really bothers me is that all they're really looking for is just an industry versus industry fight. And it's listen, there's just a policy disagreement. Can we go back to the real people who suck, which are the prohibitionists, and focus on them and how they
Yeah.
yeah. You want to talk about these education programs. Talk about how they're always trying to get counties to ban edibles everywhere. There's other fights out there that we need to be focusing on. These people are pushing for edibles to get banned.
Why?
Because the children. If I had pearls, I'd clutch them right now because of the children's. Because you go into a school and we don't know if they're eating real cookies or marijuana cookies, and
Oh well, that's
I go
something
like
that
I'm
my
like
mom
I would rather have a
definitely-
kid, I guess, eating a like pot brownie in high school. Although I wouldn't. I don't want that. As opposed to like what that other thing they're doing, which is like dipping tampons in vodka and then inserting them.
Oh, kids are so stupid. So
Kids are stupid,
if they're
dude.
doing cannabis, you know, I just go, oh, thank God it wasn't a vodka dipped tampon, because you guys are really stupid. So you're doing cannabis, you know. I guess, you know, it's better than doing what your all dumb friends
Dipping
do.
vodka. Yeah, I mean, I heard about that and I was like,
Yeah,
what? It
yeah.
scares me as a parent. And I
Or
read
even
this.
drinking, you know, because all teens drink.
Well, because you can die from drinking.
You can die from drinking. So if I walked into my, 16-year-old son smoking weed, I would take a big sigh of relief that it wasn't a big bottle of vodka, because he's like, yeah, we got vodka, we're cool now.
Dude, my first drinking story
kids.
was I was like 17. And you're still like kind of experimenting with alcohol. And I took a wine cooler. We had vodka. We was at my friend Spencer. I'll just say Spencer's house because he's probably like, don't talk about me on the radio. We're at Spencer's house, and we're drinking. It's me and this girl Tamara and a few of our friends. Just like, drinking. His parents are out of town, just drinking. They got a handle of like McCormick's vodka in the plastics. We're real classy in Grand Junction. We do it right. Yeah. And I had this one of those big cups that you get from like 7-Eleven,
Big gulps.
Big gulps, yeah. And like, so I put vodka in it, and then I was like, I need a mixer, and there was wine coolers. And so then I mixed wine cooler as my mixer, and I drank all of it. And then proceeded to regret a lot of things, like breaking things, a vomit. Like it was bad. There was a while where they just sat me in a room with a Super Nintendo, and they're like, play Mario Kart for a while and entertain yourself. And my Mario kept like just running into the wall. That's the most drunk I've ever driven. Was Mario Kart. Just kept running into the wall. Ching, ching, ching. So.
Wow.
I mean, it was scary though. I was like vomiting and like because I could have died. Who mixes vodka? Wait, is your phone ringing right now?
You know what? My phone is really stupid. It's been doing some stupid stuff lately.
Oh yeah.
It's just like I didn't set that. That was a beautiful little tone. I didn't set that as a tone.
You didn't set that as a tone?
No, that's not the tone.
Are you doing things blackout drunk?
No, it should be. Dave's not here from Cheech and Chong.
Oh, should it?
Should be.
Oh.
But it's not. What's going on? It's the work of Jenny Cush.
Oh. You got a little ghost power going on?
Yeah, I got some ghosts following me. White phone. Ghosts are white, right? Or is that?
Aren't they? That's kind of racist.
Yeah.
You think all ghosts are white?
They could be lots of different colors.
They could be. They
Ghosts.
are all lots of different colors. Don't be so presumptuous.
Yeah, they probably are.
You're a
I've never seen
specter.
one.
You're a specterist.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But like I said, I renewed my red card.
We're going back to the red card. That's good.
Yeah, it's a good one. But you know what? It was more. It was more.
How much more?
Well, how much should it be for a renewal? 50?
Hmm.
I paid like 140. But it's because I didn't do anything else. I don't have to do anything else. I just walked out of there and that was it. So I don't have to go anywhere else. So
For your sciatica, right?
Yes. Well, I
your
may
glaucoma?
be getting that. Yeah, no, I don't have glaucoma. I got migraines.
You got migraines?
Mm-hmm.
I had a really bad migraine. You know what I had the other day that I wish cannabis fixed? Heartburn.
Totally. So it gives me it though.
Cannabis gives you heartburn?
If it's a little bit more like if it smells like kind of citrusy, yeah. Because then yeah. It's like, oh no, citrus, gotta smoke this. No.
Oh no. I get the worst heartburn. I was like, if this is what getting old is, I may just like jump in front of a train because that is how bad the heartburn is. I have given birth and I would rather go through labor pains than heartburn. Yes. I think I hate it. It just hurts so bad. Maybe it's not heartburn. Maybe
it's
I'm
not
having a heart
heartburn.
attack or
Maybe
something.
you're having a heart attack.
I doubt it.
I don't know what mine. It's like acid reflux. Yeah, maybe it's that.
Maybe isn't that the same thing?
I don't know. I'm not a
Acid
doctor.
reflux is the same as heartburn, dummy.
Oh, is it?
I
It's
think
just more
so.
scientific. I just said it more intelligently. Is that what you're saying?
That's would be a loose description at best.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Intelligently. Look at you. You're so adorable.
Thank you.
And then, so you renewed your red card.
I renewed it. It's coming 35 to 40 days. Well, a little bit less because I did it a couple days ago. But that stinks. They don't. Do they accept renewals or temporary paperwork? You would know.
Sure, I don't know.
I don't think so. Everyone's been saying no to everyone else.
There you go.
Well, that
Gosh, I
stinks.
guess you're going to have to go to the black market.
I guess, yeah. What the heck's up with that, Colorado?
God, come on, Colorado, speed things up.
Yeah.
I guess we could talk. We're going to go on a break and then we'll come back. Are we done? No, we're going to take a break and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about real quick the real thing that's been gearing up, which is licensing on the state level. October 1st, people. I hope
October
it
1st.
is a race. People are gunning, so we'll talk about that when we come back.
Let's face it, rules and regulations are complicated, especially in the field of medical marijuana. Let Medical Marijuana 101 help you get through the compliance process. We can also explain to you your employment requirements, your employees, and your business. But our work doesn't stop there. Our experience in cultivation ranges from the design of grow rooms to the diagnosis and resolution of grow problems. Visit us at www.medicalmarijuana101.com or call 303-388-7706. That's 303-388-7706.
Tired of dispensary hopping? Trying to find quality meds? Look no further and get to know Greenworks. Our shops are stocked with over 20 strains of organically grown meds, including R4, the highest tested CBD strain in Colorado. Yes, we back up our quality with testing. While Greenworks offers only the highest quality meds, we don't believe in high prices, with eighths ranging from $20 to $40 and ounces capped at $175. With 2 centers in Denver and 1 in Glenwood Springs, we're likely closer than you think. Call 303-647-5210 to find the location nearest you. National Cannabis Industry Association would like to thank its members.
And we're back. Hi. Oh, thanks for that,
hello.
producer. Jeez. Someone's playing Candy Crush way too much and not paying attention to what's going on.
No, I was paying attention.
He's playing way too much Candy Crush. Candy Crush is a death game. Oh, he's going to mute me again
You
if
know
I keep
what?
that up.
As an Android user, there's not a lot of games.
I play Words with Friends, although I've been really terrible about it lately.
I gotta draw something. I got
You do draw something?
I do.
Let's do draw something together.
Okay,
I'm very good at
I
it.
think I just deleted it.
You don't have that much time for this talk.
We don't have that much time. Okay, so here's what you need to do. You need to go to the Department of Revenue website. You need to get there's a checklist on there. You download that checklist, and it will walk you through the process of what you need to get in order when you're going to be applying for your state licensing. There are 3 or 4 license class structures right now. So you've got of course your tiers for your OPCs. You've got your MIPS.
What's that stand for?
Operating something. That's your manufacturing license. That's when you're cultivating license, your OPC.
Your OPC.
Yeah, and you got your MMC, Medical Marijuana Center, and then you've got and now testing facilities too.
Good.
So they've added that license. So it's got a checklist there, everything that you're going to need to do to convert over, because right now it's just conversion. The only one you don't need to convert with or have an existing facility for is testing. Mm-hmm. So you can start a testing facility from scratch. You just got to make sure that you're zoned properly, and I don't know, within the right locality. And then you want to go to Denver's website. They've got Denver government website. They've got also application forms for people to fill out in their licensing department. Although the head of their licensing department just quit.
Right.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Don't look at me. I have no idea.
Why did she do that?
Why did I do the quit in the air quotes? I don't know.
Well, is she replaced?
He.
Oh, is he replaced?
There's someone taking over who normally handles, I think, liquor and gaming, and so she's going to be temporarily taking over until they can find a permanent replacement, but not in the
Probably too much stress.
Probably.
He probably wasn't a medical patient.
Denver hasn't exactly had their
Yeah.
ducks in a row when it's come to the licensing. There's a lot of good businesses out there that have been waiting a long time for their licenses to be approved and have had everything in order. They've had everything together that they've needed to have together, and the Denver licensing department just couldn't get their shit together, I guess. So,
Well,
I cuss a lot.
I couldn't get their shit together.
Oh, look at you.
I didn't even think that's a cuss word.
Shit?
Yeah, because just hear it so many times now.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's what we need to do. That's where everybody, I think's focus has been lately, making sure everything's in a row, and then they're gonna.
What about the thing with them giving out like all my info, the registry being given up?
So that was through the Department of Health and
Some
Education,
fools.
DPHE, Department of Health and Environment. Sorry,
CDPHE.
CDPHE, and I think what had happened was there was inquiries from certain law enforcement entities, and they gave them access to the database even though they weren't supposed to. I don't know what's going on with that, to be honest. Again, something that we need to keep fighting on. To say this is not right.
Yeah,
this
secrecy.
is not okay.
I mean, that's
Privacy.
And I mean that's honestly, I'm fine to have my name on that. Like if they, Sam Isaacs is a marijuana patient. Like for me, I'm like, whew, thank God. You know, I'm not on a no-flight list. I'm not like a sexual predator list. Like, no, this is the marijuana list.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not too worried about marijuana. I mean, who cares? It's weed, guys. It's
Mm-hmm.
maybe if you're on the no-flight list, maybe you want to lay low for a while.
Yeah.
But it's marijuana, so I'm not too upset or even like worried what's going to happen. I don't care.
Yeah. And like, I don't know. Yeah, it's still it's gross negligence, I think. On
Yeah,
their
they
part.
should have kept their promise to the people to not, to follow their own rules. You're not allowed to give it up. Don't give it up.
Yeah, exactly. And so hopefully they've learned now, and that they're going to be more professional about it.
Yeah.
Again, that's another department head who's been replaced. Chris Urbina stepped down. And so they have that's by appointment. So the governor will be appointing someone. So again,
Could
all of our
appoint you,
activists
Sam.
out there, I don't think so.
Like Samantha Walsh would be a good choice.
You want me to be be the director of the
Yeah.
Department of Public Health and Environment? I don't. That would be amazing.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool. You
I
get
want
all
to
the
be.
checks.
I want to be like. I would love to be like the head of the Department of Revenue, only because like I want to create like new traffic laws, because on my way here my commute was terrible, and like everything's all crowded on
I
I-25.
thought that's the Department of Transportation.
I don't know. I just want to be some sort of like executive position where I can make rules and like kick all the shitty drivers out of the city.
Well, I said yesterday we should have an impaired lane. So all the impaired drivers, if you do happen to drive, we got a lane for you.
With bumper sides, like the terrible like bowling alley that the kids use.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom,
It'll have
boom,
bumpers but yeah, it'll always need reconstruction because
No, we need to have. If you're worried about impaired drivers, I'm telling you, I've always said there should be an amnesty program for people who leave their cars downtown and get like a parking ticket.
Totally.
If you can like provide a cab receipt or like a bus ticket or something that says like, listen, I made the smart choice. Like
And
I
a
think
responsible
the
choice.
responsible choice. I think the city should give you
Reimburse
amnesty
you.
on
Yeah,
your
absolutely.
ticket. Like just waive it. It's like, all right, no parking ticket for you.
Right.
Just
like
there is a law firm out there that will pay for your cab fare.
Oh, is there?
If you drive, yeah. If you,
Sure,
yeah.
if you
If you
use
just send
them.
them in the ticket and they'll pay for it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's neat. I mean, but we need more things like that. It's not just about like telling people don't to drink and drive, because I think we
Right.
all know that like once you start drinking, you just do dumb shit. You know,
Do you?
a lot of people do.
I don't drink, so I don't know. I'm not
But
being
yeah,
sarcastic.
when you drink, you do dumb shit.
I like White Russians,
That's drinking.
but they're White Russians.
That's so. You are kind of a racist.
I'm just-
You're talking about your white ghosts and your white Russians now.
Well, listen, there's a tumbleweed, and it's a slushy version. It's really good.
I like white Russians. They're delicious. If
Yeah,
you're taking the
they're really
Lebowski
good.
challenge, it's fun.
No, I don't take the Blast Challenge because I've watched the movie a lot, and I realize every scene has a White Russian in it. And I had 4 once. And that was a little too much for me. Just 4.
Yeah. So I'm saying we need, like, people are obviously going to drink and smoke and do these other things, and we need to find a way to have it's not just an alternative choice for recreation. It's also, we all have to have alternative choices for transportation home. So that means more public transportation options.
The drunk bus.
Drunk.
That'd be cool. The drunk
More
bus.
paddy wagons.
Paddy wagons? Oh, pedicabs I like.
Pedicabs are
Let's get a
fun.
pedicab. That'd be cool.
Uber. Uber's great. You taken Uber before?
No.
Oh, Uber's that private town car service that you just like, you have the app on your phone and you can just like call an Uber, and then like a little like black town car comes and picks you up.
Oh.
It's a little more expensive than taking a cab, but you don't have to tip. So usually that evens out a little bit.
I couldn't do that. If you pick me up, I have to tip. You done? You pick me up?
No, you can't pick them up. They don't tip. It's like that's included in the price. That's why it's a little bit more expensive.
I still feel bad.
But they won't. They can't take tips.
Well, if there's only one place where they've never taken my tip.
What?
It was at a golf course in California. My dad took me, and he tipped him, and it was like, no. Put that away. Can't be seen taking that. It was on a mountain.
You can't do that at the Cherry Creek golf course either.
I'd imagine, yeah. It's just nice. They get paid too well.
Yeah, that's the thing. So the Uber, they get paid very well, so that's why it's privately contracted out.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, we need more of that.
We definitely need more of that. We need high-speed light rails made out of hemp. That's what we need.
We need limo service for free.
Yes.
Because that would make it fun.
Unicorns and Care Bears and all that kind of stuff.
Edibles.
Don't ban edibles. That's dumb.
I understand. I get what they're talking about because that's what my mom would say. She'd be like, well, what about infused products like, cookies? How do I know? And it's like, okay, I understand what you're talking about, but, they're being made whether or not it's legal. So would you like the drug dealer to give it to your kid or him not be able to have it because it's run by businessmen?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess she would like the drug dealer. But, no one would like the drug dealer. But, that's everyone would say the businessman.
Yeah.
But I understand,
And then maybe, I don't know, maybe that's, I don't know, what do you do? Big purchase limits? Like, you can't buy more than 5 candy bars because if you're buying like 10 candy bars, that's getting handed out to people.
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know, but
I get their concern, but
which is why these education programs are important. I think kids need to know that it's important. Like they need to understand. Like, listen, this stuff will edibles are originally designed for cancer patients and because the smoking, it's not that healthy for them. So you have like this really high potency stuff. So I do think education programs are important because kids need to understand dosing. And I know dosing sounds like terrible, but they need to understand, every brand new consumer to this market. Kids need to be aware of the dangers of eating too much, smoking too much, drinking too much, and as they do with everything.
When I went in to get my renewal,
but new consumers even too, like the grandma down the street, who's like, yes, I'm gonna go try some of this weed again. I haven't done it for a while, but they're not gonna walk in and if they eat 100 milligram candy bar, they are gonna fall to the floor. Like, she's gonna be out. Grandma's gonna not know what the hell happened. She's gonna be like,
edibles are funny because I've had edibles that put me to sleep. I've had other edibles that make me feel pressure in my head, and so it's all over with the edibles.
We're just in a fine tuning process now.
Yeah, it is fine tuning.
And when you're drinking, you understand like a beer an hour. Okay. So we still need to figure out like what's an appropriate level to take to maintain a nice high, but without being like on the floor incapacitated,
Yeah. There's the body's different.
Yeah, the body. So people need to understand, so
your own body.
So to sit there and say that we don't need these education programs or something, I don't think is doing service to what they're really going to be doing, which is like we need to be figuring out how do we properly educate people about cannabis. It's not just prevention or like prohibition or propaganda. I think that's what everyone thinks it is, but it's not. It's really about properly educating people about the plant, about the correct ingestion, consumption of the safe consumption. It's about safe consumption. This is not about like don't consume. It's about safe consumption.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
Don't consume at your job. Don't consume before you
go
to work.
Before you drive. Yeah. Don't consume before you drive. Don't eat a 100 milligram candy bar. and then watch a really crappy. No, that's what you need to do. Watch a great movie.
Great movie.
Oh yeah.
Make sure you watch a good movie.
Inception.
Inception's a good
I
one.
love watching Inception.
I like Monty Python.
Yeah?
Yeah, like The Meaning of Life is on Netflix. You can go watch that. It's wonderful. I
really?
watch that every day, all day.
Do you learn the meaning of life when you watch it eating an edible?
Yeah, if you absolutely. Well, if you pay attention to the movie.
Yeah. What is it, Sam? Is it 42?
People aren't wearing enough hats.
That's the meaning of life?
That was the meaning of life. Well, there's another part, but I can't remember it. But people aren't wearing enough hats.
You don't think that that's an important thing to remember, what the meaning of life is?
I remember it, but it's my secret, and if you want to watch it, you better watch the movie.
Why can't you just tell me?
You want to know?
Yeah.
You gotta.
Of course I want to know.
Well-
If I didn't want to know, why would I ask?
You gotta watch the movie, but it's pretty good and it's funny, and that's the only.
I've never seen it.
Well, at the very end, they talk about it. And it's like you gotta quiet your mind and focus inward instead of focus on out. And then of course people aren't wearing enough hats.
Not enough hats.
That's a
I
big.
love hats. What's your favorite kind of hat?
Anything made with hemp is my favorite.
Oh, nice little shout out there to the grassroots people.
Yeah. Oh,
yes, I love a grassroots hat. I like a fedora as well. Does grassroots make fedoras? Grassroots, if you're out there listening, I request a fedora.
Any
made out
type
hemp.
of gardening hat is good.
They do? I want a bitchin' fedora.
There's a garden hat that I wore, and it looks really pretty on me.
Pretty?
Well, yeah, it did look great.
Chris is telling us to wrap up. Time to wrap up.
All right, we'll wrap it this.
How do you think we did all by ourselves?
I think we did really good. Entertaining, informative.
A little bit off the wall.
A little bit off the wall.
A little bit inappropriate.
A little bit inappropriate.
A little bit boring.
Somewhat boring.
Somewhat exciting.
But really.
Cool. Definitely cool. Sam Nanigans.
Sam Nanigans.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess we'll see everyone next week where we will hopefully have David back in and
That's
I
me
guess
in my hat.
Oh my gosh, can we put that up on the will you put that up on
Try to get that. It's a little dark.
We're gonna get that.
But that's my favorite
right
hat.
now. Oh my gosh.
That's
Look how
me wearing a
adorable you
hat.
are.
Thank you. It's a good hat.
It's a great hat.
It's a gardener's hat, I think.
Oh.
I don't know.
All right, well, we're going to go.
Okay.
So thanks for tuning in, and peace, love, and happiness.
Peace.